Well, hello there again, everyone. This is iMark3, and welcome back to Derelict Void, where we continue to roam around being pirates, nicking all the essential supplies before other people can get to them, and all that jazz. Well, to be fair, there's no coordination going on out here at all, despite what the provisional government told us last time. So, let us continue. We are repositioning, of course, so I already ditched the hull, so now we need to begin moving. We got the story point pickup, which was the engineer in there. Gave us 8 extra crew, so our resources don't last as well. So right now what I want is hull. I'm interested in this one. There's normal hulls, right? This one is specifically a lightweight hull. So being very light, we can haul that with us relatively easily, because it just won't weigh as much as other hulls. So that's a potential thing we could do to deal with our impending storage needs. So let's see. How far can I get on the supplies I've got? Pretty good, actually. Let's burn. Let's go. Full power. Why am I suddenly going full power? Because food and water, we've now got 60 people. I want more food and water because we're going to need to spend some of that really soon. And I am concerned. I am very concerned. There we go, lightweight hull. Compact, extremely light. On approach, connect to it. So it's a lightweight hull, as you saw. It didn't give me the option to not connect to it. It's automatically get to it. But the compact hull, we don't know how much it weighs because we haven't explored it yet. So start exploration. Plus side, more hydroponics. We might get our hydroponics working here. And in fact, in the last update, the devs made it so it's a lot rarer that you find systems in hulls that have 0 parts. That used to be quite common. So odds are we're going to get 1 hydroponic part. We'll be able to get our hydroponics actually working. So that's something towards being able to sustain ourselves. Anyway, moving on. We need to burn again. I want more water and food. Still priorities. Oxygen is actually kind of low. 64 hours. So that means it's the lowest out of the 3 major ones. There is a floating cluster of tanks nearby, which is always a good source of finding stuff, damaged tanks, because you can scoop some up, then you can risk hurting your crew for a chance to get more supplies as well. So drifting tanks are a very good source of resources if you've got time, which I don't think I have, question mark. You know what, auction is kind of ticklish, so let's go and make sure. The extra crew would be an excellent thing to have, but I want to try and make sure that I at least live through this run. So yeah, I'll burn some of my available auction supply because we're going to get auction supply immediately. Throw an extra 5 hours into the fire, sure. That's a big chunk of our auction supply being burned here, I think. Let's just go ahead and do that. 45 hours. Right. So, something I didn't mention before. Oh, here we go. Another thing from the Gate City. Put it on through. Hello, survivors. I am from the Astrophysics Survey Corps, embedded with the local peacekeepers. First of all, you have probably looked out into space and realized we are now somewhere else. No kidding. We have been running the visible star field against deep field star surveys. No match has been found, but we do know we are not in a 10 million light-year spherical volume of space centered on known space. So we are more than 10 million light-years away from our point of origin. Good news. As what happened, it appears that a wormhole burst, translating fragments of what was local space. A wormhole burst. That's a new thing. I'm not familiar with wormhole bursting. The concept I've not really come across before, so I'm not sure what to make of that. Translating fragments of what was local space, so it's like a distortion which grabbed everything nearby. With more measurements, we will determine the exact point of origin, but so far we can tell it was somewhere in the vicinity of Titania. The gate itself has unfortunately collapsed. Ooh. The only good news to share is that some, 1 in a million, quantum relay bits at the gate remained paired. And with luck, communication to known space could be re-established. Quantum pairing communication. That is pretty advanced, actually. And theoretical at the moment. Well, actually, no. If memory serves, it's not theoretical. It's actually proven. It's just we can't really apply it. But we do know that technically the theory is sound. How applicable it might be, we don't know about. There you go. Interesting physics. I'm pretty sure that that is a thing. We're just nowhere near being able to use it. Until next time, data streaming summarizing findings follows this transmission. So what happened? Anyway, just keep on cruising. I will again accelerate time to double, just so that we can do that. And let's see. One part. Yes, we can get hydroponics operational, which will convert CO2, organics and water into oxygen and food. This will all play into this, but we can turn machines off if we don't want them running. There is that. However, we can repair it right now. It will not be functional. In fact, let's pull the trick again, because we do have... You know what? What am I thinking? What am I saying? I want to keep this thing, darn it. I'm keeping this hull because it's a lightweight, so no, I'm not going to pull that out and ditch the hull, which is what I was about to say I was going to do. No. Mostly intact, strong oxygen signature. Still pressurized, none of the tanks intended connected in pure vacuum, and with level of damage, these things could go wrong. Most of the tanks have some form of damage. Let's try getting the less damaged ones, which will take 2 hours of crew work. And liquid storage investigation found some wastewater and water. Oh, cool. Water. And the gas storage, please, oxygen. Yep. Great. Notice the draining tanks, by the way, was added to my list of tasks over there. So that's how that works. After a bit struggling, we managed to connect things, and we got 400 oxygen out of it. So that's great. Our oxygen reserve is massively boosted. Or we can attempt to drain more of the tanks. These ones are damaged, so they're more likely to have a problem with them. And it'll take between 1 and 3 hours of crew time. 3 hours. I was unlucky. Let's see. This thing... Solid, liquid, and gas. I can connect it to a gas and a solid, actually. Oh yeah, I can't do that because there's still thing being explored. You know, let's do the repair work since I want to hang on to this thing. There, let's pull that there. And let's see what happened. Ooh, 600. Massive chunk of oxygen there. And that's why I said it's worth the risk usually. If it goes wrong, your crew is temporarily knocked out for like 24 hours, then it comes back online again and you can use it. But 600, that's more than... I just more than doubled the amount I got from this encounter with a little bit of extra time. So that's why it's worth trying. I don't need oxygen, so I'm not going to go for that. I don't have the hydrogen anyway. Water, food, I need food. What I need is an extra container. We have oxygen to burn. So if I accelerate ourselves, if I take it down to 8 hours, that'll knock 6 hours off my oxygen supply, but which is tiny compared to the amount I've got, so I might as well just like throw it all in there. You see, I got a massive amount of hydrogen. Sorry, massive amount of oxygen. Suddenly I'm throwing it in the engine. There we go. Such shit happens in this game. Now, lightweight hull, 17.5 tons. Cool. I am going to... This thing isn't working because there's no organics, but the fact it's operational, minus 15 to comfort. So I am actually going to transfer this one out into here. So that will fix up this hull and this will be livable. Okay, next stage, story. Proposal been brought forward by the engineer, Kitiorik Zurizina, who we recently rescued. They claim that it's possible to upgrade the engine with hardware that should be possible to scavenge. Our own engineers say this plan is unconventional, but agree that it is feasible. Sensors have been informed of what to look for. If we can pull this project off, it'll greatly increase the mass we can reasonably travel with. So yeah, better engine. Also, monitoring transmissions. Recently, some members of the crew have been sharing transmissions we have picked up from other ships. Sometimes the contents of these messages are disturbing and shocking. It's possible these messages could trigger a panic or general trauma. On the other hand, not all news is bad out here, and communication with other ships helps to keep hope alive. If we ban communication, people will not like it, but it might prevent unpredictable effects from events outside our control. So this is a morale factor. Do we keep all news away from the crew? They won't be happy because they know they're going to think we're hiding something, and odds are we probably are. But if we share, then we might get bad events which will have a severe impact on morale at random as we go. So, since I'm planning to try and keep everything in good standing and keep the morale high, that means I am fine with sharing it. If something bad does come over the airwaves, then odds are I'll be able to mitigate it and won't be in risk from it. So, yes, I will be open and honest with them. And here we go. On approach, attack the junction, connect it there, and we will begin our analysis of this piece. This is kind of like, I would say, the maximum amount that we want to have, by the way. Like 2 extra pieces before we get an upgraded engine, because, well, the problem is this engine is not that strong, so we need to be careful. Let's see, water. We need food and water. There's a shuttle. It means we'll get more people, but that's actually something I want to do. So, yeah, I will go ahead and do that. I will actually restrain myself from a less efficient burn, reducing the amount of oxygen I'm about to spend. And off we go. Now, why do I want more people? I was going to explain this in a little bit. And yeah, it's complaining because there's no organic, so I'm actually going to turn that off. So it won't be warning about that. Why do I want more people? I want more people because I've found often I do better in a play for a series if I have some kind of goal that I'm working towards. It makes me more likely to actually keep at it and complete the play. It also gives a end point, as I find if it is a set your own goal kind of thing, I've always kind of like lost interest and wandered off without giving a proper finish to the series. So that can and has happened pretty often in the past, I must be honest. I am totally a reliable content creator, yes. Well, no, but, you know, that plays straight into my low sense of self-worth, so... Confirmation of bad thoughts, yes, I guess. Anyway, right. One of the 2 successful runs I've had previously in this game, I got out with over 250 people, which is one of the Steam achievements for this game. The other Steam achievement in this game related to that is to escape with 400 people. So, yeah, if I build this up, I'm going to have a little town/city floating around, and you've got to manage the requirements of that many people, as well as the difficulty of propelling that much mass and stuff like that as well on the 2nd tier engine. We cannot progress to the 3rd tier engine. We would have to stay on 2nd tier engine as long as physically possible. But anyway, yeah, sorry. Positive gas pressure, oxygen, cool. I just spent a bunch, now I gained a bunch. That's excellent. There's also water treatment parts here. And they found resources in it. What have you found? Bunch of water. That's cool. We need food, though. More important, that's 1 part. 2 parts, we can get our water treatment plant operating as well. There's no room in this hull to actually fit it, though. That's a cause for concern. Okay. Just have to keep going and keep trundling along. Let's accelerate the time a little bit. Shuttle. Eerie silence, yep. Cold frozen corpses. Gain some food. A good chunk. We're still a bit ticklish on those 2 resources though, so we do need to keep finding them. But a factory complex with stellator parts. If we look down here at the objectives, which I don't actually bother to check very much because I know what I'm doing, we need neutral beam injector and stellator. So this has stellator parts. We want it. Besides, we need another hull piece to start tearing apart for salvage anyway, so, you know, it's all good, yeah? Let's burn a bit of extra oxygen in there. That should be fine. Carbon. Cool. Okay, got some carbon. Liquid storage, extra water. Cool. This is why I like to work on the wrecks with salvage crews and things. You just get so much variety of stuff from the wrecks. Admittedly, the quantities is usually a bit lower than if you go to a dedicated place, but you get a lot more stuff in general overall from it. Oh, here we go. Another one. Communications. Attention fellow event survivors. Update on the state of Gate Station. Repairs continue on major systems. There is not enough heavy machinery to proceed with all repairs at once, so many minor systems have yet to see any repair. This is exactly what would happen in a crisis situation. I would like to find a game where you have to do that, like you're in a badly damaged / crippled place and you've got very finite resources to try and actually get things fixed up and working for you. So that sounds like a good game concept in and of itself, and it's also realistically how things would tend to happen in real life, because the damage from the crisis would damage the machinery used to repair the stuff as well. Resources are rumoured to be tight, and strict rationing is currently in place. As you might expect, the credit exchange system is currently suspended. A handful of refugee ships recently arrived, stressing the supply situation even further. So yeah, it's like we're provisional government. We're here to help anyone who needs us. So a couple of refugee ships turn up. Oh no, we can't handle it anymore. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, let's check. 29 tons. That is 4 tons. So this is an extremely heavy hull, the Santa Maria. The Rich Mox is really light. It's got the hydroponics in it, which is 10 tons. So yeah. Sorry, 15 tons. Wait, sorry, that's 4 tons for 1 ton part, so that's 12 tons for water treatment. You are a heavy piece of hull, aren't you? Yes. Also, somewhat restricted in use because that liquid storage there can't be actually touched by anything. So that's really bad. I'm going to pull the dumping trick. I'll move that, immediately eject that hull piece. Confirm. Bye-bye. And then when that gets moved into place, I'll use it to fix the existing one. So that is fine and dandy. Merge you. We have arrived. Okay, and what have we got? We have got... we just ditched the Santa Maria. We've just got another one. Fine, explore it. Okay, we've got morale penalty going on because of water treatment running. It is connected directly to the liquid storage, which is giving an extra 50% in terms of conversion rate, but it's converting wastewater and carbon into water and organics. Tasty. So that's giving us some level of water sufficiency. If I turn that off, notice this immediately changes to reflect what I switch around. So if I do that, carbon will last for 55 hours because we don't have an input for that. But water will last 7 days instead of 3. And we'll also be gaining organics as well. But then I'm going to turn on the hydroponics as well. 200% because it's connected to 2 inputs for it. And that will decreases our water, but it increases our oxygen and food sustainability. It also completely wipes out the organics supply as well. So it's consuming all the organics being produced by that, but it consumes some of our water as well, but food and oxygen receive massive boosts to how well we can sustain it. So this is why you want to kind of develop and gather the parts. You're trying to get enough equipment to sustain yourself as you go. Storage. Carbon. Cool. Extra carbon durability. Superconducting materials. Magnet stellator. So we found the parts some assembly required. Yep. So we've got the stellator parts. Oh, that's good. That's good. I didn't spot that at first. Hospital parts. Hospital is plus 20 to morale for the hull that you put it into. So it can be used to make things better. Serious transmission circulating the ship. Apparently there is a team of researchers who claim to have been working on some sort of black site who say the sudden event that pulled us here was actually the result of some testing accident. Which is interesting, but we do need to survive first. Oh wait, we're not actually going anywhere. Whoops. Put it through. Extra organics. Right. I forgot that we weren't travelling. What do you have? Do you have... Neutral beam. Neutral beam, that's the other part we need. So, yeah, travel. Also, because I forgot to set a destination, we weren't traveling there, so we need to mosey on out as quickly as possible. Organics. Basically, we do have some organics, but I'm going to throw that into there because we don't actually need surplus organics at the moment. Carbon, I want to hang on to the carbon, but I can spend 4 hours of oxygen. We've got tons of oxygen. That's fine. Confirm and travel. You know what? I was an idiot. This is what happens when I get distracted and go, oh no, panic, react. What I should have done there is move the hospital piece and then ditch that 22.5 ton hull that's attached to me and then burned. You see what I mean? This game... Yeah, that punched me slightly by costing me extra resources I didn't need to spend. But anyway, yeah, dock the new hull. And because we've got because that thing is finished, we need to spend time to actually assemble the stellator. So there we go. That's going to tie up a crew for 24 hours. We can, whenever it does something like that, we can say not now, do it later, and it'll pop up again at the next jump destination. So it doesn't really matter too much if you do that. If you say no, I want to wait, because it will come. It'll pop up again really soon. But anyway, moving on. Still concerned about water. There's a drifting shuttle. Let's go to the shuttle. I mean, there is a whole piece over there with survivors, but I don't want to go there and get another whole piece to be lugging around, quite honestly. 16 hours of oxygen to get there. We're going to go slow burn. Add a few hours to our travel time. Actually, I don't want organics. No, go away. I wanted oxygen. Right, why are we doing a slow burn? For the next 23 hours, we are running a single crew. So it'll take a time for us to actually explore this other piece we've got here. This hull will last us a while for salvage work. So we're not in a hurry. Not especially. Not especially. And here we go. One of our crew members, Mary, reports they have found evidence of a giant cache of resources probably drifting somewhere nearby. They are requesting use of an entire crew to look over sensor data in reference to the archive system-wide ship logs in order to figure out where it might be. There's a slight... There should be an in the middle of there. In order to. So, slight typo. This will add a new 16-hour task to our thing, so that'll slow down our crew activity even further. We do need the crew, but these things are random chance if they turn up or not. And they can be very worthwhile if they pan out. So, I will say yes, tie up an entire crew, stops all salvage work. I've only got the 2 crews, so yeah, that kind of slows things down a lot, but it's okay. It's okay. Prices of water. Yep, frozen corpses, but 480 water. That's a big jump to water supplies, and as you saw, our mass jumped up as well. I did tell you, resources cost mass. There is another lightweight hull over nearby, though. Very tempting. I kind of want a lightweight hull which is better than the Rich Monks, so I think I will actually head over there, travel, slow burn, because our crews are tied up, and let's see, 22 hours of oxygen to get to it. That's not too bad. I'd rather spend oxygen than food and water, because the event I was talking about has not popped up yet. Stellator is now assembled. Excellent. Crew come free. Rooms of cache. Archives report they have yet to find the location. They still have hope and request another day. So yes, this is what I mean. This one can take multiple attempts to find it, but we are trying to find it. So, yeah, this is that thing that's coming back to bite me now. That thing about allowing transmissions to go around the ship. A recording is being spread around the ship. It shows that what are probably the last minutes on another ship as the oxygen supply ran out. We have 6 days of oxygen. We're fine. But that is a morale penalty. See, watch disturbing video, -5. And we got +5 because of our living conditions, because we've got a functioning water treatment plant going on in there. Oh dear. Let's go ahead and speed things up. Exploration. A neutral beam injector was found carefully boxed up and ready. Excellent. Moves of cash. It did not pan out. The report that the cash must... They report the cash must not have been transported during the event, which is unfortunate, but at least we spent some time trying to verify, but we're going at full speed now, just cranking through everything in this. Compact class, extremely light. Connect the hole. I will say begin. Again, it ties up a work crew for 16 hours. Can't be helped. Ooh. Carbon scrubber. Sorry, CO2 scrubber. Excellent. Begin investigation. This is a bad hole, 25 tons. It's got 4 warehouses, which are solid points, but they're randomly placed. The storages, by the way, are randomly placed, as you've probably noticed by now, around the outer ring of a hull piece. So it's entirely down to random generation what you're going to get. But things like this, really useless for the most part, so just throw it away, really. But gaining that will let me start to convert CO2 down into oxygen and water. So that is a good find. Here we go, a positive event. Mischief. I didn't know Master Chief was on board. Mischief has been talking a lot about the possible success that we can have and how close we are to being successful. If only their dreams would come true. People, you could use some hope. People have hope. Plus 15. See? Positive. Okay, what are you? You are 2 parts, actually. That is excellent. I really want to just patch that in immediately, which will start the CO2 to oxygen, so carbon dioxide. But we do have the supplies right now. We are okay right now, so that's fine. Water. Cool. Come on. Yellow alert. There we go. We got the engine upgrade. Alright, this is going to be the final event for this particular video because we are at about the half-hour mark. But here we go. The engine event is now... The engine is now complete. We've got the 2nd tier engine. This is the engine we're going to have for most of this run because when we get to the 3rd engine, that becomes an automatic game ending situation because we then have a finite amount of time and then we must survive a finite amount of time after that to succeed. And the time after that must be done without any kind of salvage work at all, so, you know, that's kind of how the game plays at that stage. This is the main stage, though, getting the upgraded engine. Upgrade the engine to a fusion torch engine. It turns blue! Yay, it gets blue stripes. Captain, we have assembled an upgrade for our engine. It is now very strong and can carry us easily to new locations. It has a heavier design mass as well, which means we can take on more weight without losing performance. The engine produces more power as well if we decide to put it into our sensors. It is worth keeping a sharp lookout to see if we can upgrade our engine further. In brackets. Sadly, as far as I'm aware, there's only the 1 extra engine upgrade available. Though I said the game still is in development. I hope they add more upgrades because this brackets thing is extremely pointless at the moment. With our empowered sensors, we locate a clump of interesting signals coming from a nearby sector of space. We locked onto a hull that seems to be fully functional and transmitting signals that we recognize. So, the game rewards us for reaching this stage. This is the first... It gives us this as an automatic jump to go to, so we can't choose a different destination. We've got these, but we get to pick what we want here. I hope they have done better than us. We'll take 8 hours. I wish they have a lot of supplies. I wish they have a more comfortable place to live. I wish they have factories to expand our industry, so we can choose what kind of prize we want to get. So what do we want? Doing better than us, I think it's just like a general aid, more kind of thing. A lot of supplies, lots of extra materials and things, which I think I do want, actually. I tend to prefer going for supplies when I reach this stage. More comfortable means a good living space, but we can find that through random hull searching, so, you know, that's not especially useful in the long run. We could easily find a very comfortable hull to live, for our people to live in, if we keep going. And I wish they have factories. Again, we can find that through random loot. So, this will ensure we have the industry, but we don't know what else we'll get with it. Same with the comfortable living. That's just random, some general bits and pieces. And this one, a big slant towards having lots of tasty supplies. Supplies is the lifeblood of this game. So for this particular thing, I honestly say, once you know what you're doing with this game, extra supplies outweighs every other option by a huge margin. It doesn't matter that the supplies are random. What matters is you get a lot of it. And supplies are critical because if you run out of supplies, you die. So it's most critically essential, and it's the most generally useful and better at informing how you continue the game. Priority message. We just received a radio call from another part of our ship. During the event, the module was torn away and we lost contact. They report that they were well supplied. Without engines, they are ultimately helpless. As soon as we were able, we must rescue them. So this is actually the piece we are heading towards. Because we picked that, so we got that message. But the carbon is, again, ticking down. So we've got yellow alert going on. And light shortage, minus 30 to morale. So that's why you kind of want to watch out for any of these big penalties going on. So I'm actually going to shut off my hydroponics there. What are we using carbon on? Seriously, what are we using carbon on? Oh, right. Also, this thing finished. Oh, we're using carbon on the water treatment. Right. So, let's go ahead and repair the scrubber. This is a lightweight hull, 23.5 tons, 32, 22. This one is much more lightweight than the Dawncaller. The Dawncaller is actually heavier. So, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Fusion torch. We have arrived at the hull. Dock to it. This is our first big hull piece. This is the other hull piece size. At this stage, we can now get these big industrial hull pieces, and we can also get like these ones we got here, the cruise pieces as well. These things are locked on one end of it, but it does have 5 connector points, as you can see. So it's a different shape overall. Note, by the way, you can't go behind this line where the engine is mounted, so it's usually a good idea to just turn it around like that. There we go. As we dock to the hull, we are greeted by a welcome party. The residents of the hull have been surviving for a long time, but they have a lot of supplies still. Apparently they lost their engine, and fortunately we were able to find them. They offer to work with us as they have a crew team as well. +1 to crew. Get 30 population, 100 hydrogen, and an extra crew. Extra crew is great. Because the event that I was talking about early on, which needed water and food, sadly did not happen. It turns out that is actually somewhat random. I've just been getting extremely lucky when I survived long enough to actually get it, that it's turned up. So, yeah. Anyway, got to end there, I'm afraid. This is Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. And I will catch you all some other time. Oh, look, I've got 30 people homeless now. Oh no, minus 50 to morale. That is actually really bad. But yeah, see you all later.